Well, good afternoon, everybody. It is lunchtime. Scoops and scams. I got to thank everybody for coming today to our annual scam speech. Can you believe it? We've been coming here, I want to say 3 or 4 years now, talking almost about the same stuff with some new stuff, but in all actuality, the scammers are still out there, and we have to continue to educate and try to talk about stories and things that we've been seeing. So I want to thank the 20 people, 25 people or so that are here today, because there's about 25,000 people that aren't here today to listen to this speech. So we got to thank AACS for putting this on a live feed, and we're so happy to try to get this information out, because in general we want to make sure that you guys hold on to your money, because at the end of the day these scammers are going to do anything that they can to try to separate you from your bank accounts. So it's important to know some of the little things that are going to be important to recognize the red flags for these scammers that are trying to take your hard-earned money. You're in your golden age right now. You're supposed to be enjoying life. You're supposed to be able to answer the phone, answer emails, answer texts. You're supposed to be able to do that, but unfortunately, in this day and age and the technology that's out there, these are the common woes in which the scammers are trying to play on your emotions, play on your urgency, whether it's a fake scam talking about the IRS and you owing money, or the grandparent scam where your grandson's in jail. I know our DA, District Attorney Tom Quinn, has been at it for over 10 years here in Bristol County. He's been fighting for our vulnerable groups, like our youth and our seniors, and he's going to continue to do that, but we need your help, people, because it's so much easier to prevent these types of crime than to try to prosecute these types of crimes. So if we can get that education and that information out there, that's why it's so important for the people that can't come to events like this or can't come listen to our speeches that we've done at almost, actually every COA here in Bristol County multiple times over the past so many years. For people that aren't able to get to those places, to have it on TV, to have this kind of information out there is very important, because again, it's easier to prevent it than it is to prosecute it. Because again, these scammers sometimes are not from the country. Sometimes they're like mimicking or aping phone numbers that look like local numbers. So you answer the phone, because 99% of the scams, they will start on that telephone, or they'll start now in an email or a quick text, and it's scary. But you really have to be vigilant, you have to be wary, you have to be skeptical. When you get something random that you're not expecting, that you didn't order, or something that you really weren't looking for, this day and age, now delete it, report it as junk, and go from there. But our district attorney is going to talk to you more. He's mic'd up, you'll be able to hear him a little bit better than I am. So please put your hands together and welcome our district attorney, Tom Quinn.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it. Hope you're all enjoying your ice cream on a nice summer day. Just want to touch on a couple of points. As Brian said, we've been at this for over 10 years. Protecting seniors and vulnerable victims has been a priority of my office for over a decade. We're continuing to do that. But the scams, I've said this before, we'll say it again, it's very simple. With respect to the phone or even the computer, you should not be answering the phone if you do not know who's calling, okay? Just follow that advice. It's simple, because once you answer the phone, and if you get entangled with a scam artist, they may put pressure on you that causes you to do something that you would not ordinarily do. That is, give them money or information, money that you'll never get back. This has been going on for years. With the advancement in technologies, it's accelerated people's attempts to strike at vulnerable victims, the seniors, and everybody in general. So Nothing is for free. Do you understand that? Other than your ice cream, I guess. But that's been going on for a few years, so you know the drill. But anybody calling and saying something's for free or that you should give money to something, you shouldn't be answering the phone. You should disregard it. It's a simple message. Does everybody understand that? Because when you say, well, I got scared and I answered the phone and I gave him $10,000 of my hard-earned money, you're never going to get it back. 1 out of a million chance you'll get it back. And that's going to bother you for the rest of your life, right? If you lost if somebody stole $100 from you, would that bother you? Now, it may not ruin your life, but it wouldn't make it any better. So you need discipline, and you just need to not answer the phone or engage with people you don't know. You should not be giving any money over the phone to anybody. Whoever's calling you, if the police called you about something, they can show up in person. Given what's out there, you should not be giving money over the phone unless you initiate a call to St. Jude's Hospital, that's a published number or something of that nature. Other than that, the computer, I don't know what, the IRS used to be a big scam. I haven't heard of that much lately, although I hear that on the radio. There's those commercials how the IRS calls, or they say they're the IRS and they try to scare you. I can tell you a couple things. The IRS isn't going to come to your house. You understand that? Unless you get a lien for $1 million. They're not coming to your house. Nor is the FBI or the Drug Enforcement Agency or the U.S. Marshals, if those are scams, which we have heard of. They're not coming to your house. If they want to get you, 5 a.m., they're going to break the door down and take you away. Okay? That's how it goes. So, again, it's a simple message, but it is often people don't do it. This is a psychological game that scam artists are involved in. To scare and startle you so you'll do something that you really shouldn't be doing. And if you had if you were calm, you wouldn't do. You wouldn't give $5,000 to somebody. The grandparent scam, that's one that preys on people's emotions. Your grandson's in jail, your granddaughter's in jail, they've been in an accident. They need bail money, $5,000, $10,000. Send it right away. They're afraid to call the parents. Okay, they haven't been in an accident. If somehow they get arrested, you can see them in the morning. How does that sound? Okay? Because once you give that, but that preys on your emotions. The other aspect, and I heard some commercial about artificial intelligence, how there's been a big breakthrough and how great it is. Maybe it is, but the term artificial, okay, you know what that means? It's not real, artificial. Well, we've had examples of the voice of the grandchild being transposed through, I'm sure they're getting it on social media, and then it's the actual voice of the grandchild talking to you, which is scary. But I'm just telling you, first of all, you shouldn't be answering the phone, right? If you don't answer the phone, you're never going to talk to them. But of course, people want to answer the phone. And you're at home, and gee, who's calling? And maybe I've done it a few times myself, but I'm not going to get scammed, hopefully, at this point. So do you understand those little points? Your grandson or granddaughter is not in jail. They're preying on your emotions. So the last thing I'd like to talk about, so you need discipline, you just have to, it's sad that you can't answer your own phone, but that's the way it is, okay? Technology is good in many respects, but it's bad in many respects now. Whether it involves our younger people or people having the ability to harass you on the computer or the phone. One thing we've come across, it could be, any age group, but our seniors and people, are the cryptocurrency or Bitcoin machine. Have you heard of that in general? Okay. That seems to be becoming a more popular scam. Someone will call you and say there's a warrant for your arrest or whatever it is. Go down to Cumberland Farms that has a Bitcoin machine and you send through the technology money, $10,000, $15,000, $5,000, whatever it is, 20 grand. into orbit, essentially, and that goes to the thief, okay? And you'll never see it again, most likely. So if somehow you answer the phone, which I'm telling you not to do, and they say, you're going, whatever the threat is, the grandchild, the IRS is going to get you. You're going to be arrested. You think they're going to come arrest some senior citizen at home minding their own business? No, they're not going to, okay? Unless you're involved in some multi-million-dollar Ponzi fraud scheme, which I assume none of you are. So please don't drive down to Cumberland Farms or wherever and put in $10,000 into a machine that you think is going to protect you from whatever the threat is, because that's a scam. Now, legislation is filed, and the process is being filed to certainly tighten this up, because these machines are just put in, say, Cumberland Farms, wherever the entity, the business is, and I assume they get a fee for it, and the person who owns the machine, you put your 20 grand in, it goes into cyberspace to the thief. They get a cut of it, whatever the percentage is. So that's their cut. 20 is sent, they get 3 grand, 2 grand, 5, whatever the percentage is. And your money's gone. And don't think they're gonna, there's been some success with some search warrants being executed and seizing the machine, but that does not mean necessarily it's debatable whether you would get the money back. But that's not even the point. The point is, don't do it. Does everybody understand that at least? Don't go down to Cumberland Farms if you answer the phone and put 20 grand into a machine, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, that you will never see again. There's all these different angles to these things. They'll go to the, Bitcoin into the cryptocurrency, the grandparent, they'll come out some other scam, whatever it is. I'm concerned for you. That's why I've been doing this for over a decade. We'll continue to do it. We need your help. You are not going to be arrested, okay? Doesn't work that way. Does everybody understand that? At least be aware of it. So, those are the points I want to make. It's sort of repeating the same thing, but there's always going to be some different angle, a different scam. Discipline, don't fall for it. I don't want to see you at this point in your life be subjected to what would be a lot of trauma to you. If you lost money of that extent, be trauma to most people. It's not something you need at this point in your life. There's always been thieves and scam artists. Technology has made it easier to do. Okay? You love that? One last point, too, that we've seen on and off is we'll call it the Romeo scam. You ever hear of Romeo and Juliet? Little romance that went awry, as they say. We have seen instances in which, via the phone or computer, someone is called, let's assume you're a widow or widower, engage in conversation, strike up a relationship, back and forth. You keep responding to it, they give you attention, and all of a sudden it's, I want to come see you, but I need money. And that can mushroom into you giving Romeo, it's going to be Romeo, significant amounts of money. But both sides, both male and female, we've heard. I spoke at a group like this a few months ago, and the person got up, walked out of the room while I'm speaking like this. And afterwards, someone came to me and said, well, the reason because he's getting scammed by somebody. A woman was scamming him, and the family's trying to stop it. And that's under the pretense of this romance. I'm concerned about you. I have feelings for you. We're all lonely, right? Who knows? Some people would say, that's ridiculous. I'd never fall for it. You may not, but some people are. And we're not talking about $100 either. How about 100 grand? Would you like, if you had it, would you like to be out 100 grand? For Romeo, who you will never see. See, that's the thing. You'll never see Romeo. Romeo will say, I'm going to come see you and get airplane tickets. I need maybe some money up front. I'll get it back to you. And all of a sudden, you're in, right? You're in. You've given money. So it sounds far-fetched, but it's happening. So you'll never see Romeo. You'll be out a lot of money and a lot of sadness. Any questions? Yes.
One of the things that happened to me earlier this year was I got a text, and I said, that's weird. It was Fidelity. They usually send me an email.
Yeah.
It turned out it was fake, but they used the logo belonging to the company, and they were trying to get my password.
And was that the request to give you the password?
No, I didn't.
No, is that what they want? Send an
I looked at the phone and I said, that doesn't sound like their phone number. And it was phony.
Okay, well, you were alert to that. That's good. I don't think Fidelity or Mutual Insurance or whoever they are going to send a text message to you. Your doctor might send a text message, right? Or the medical payment. I'm getting those all the time. I don't know if they're a scam. You go to the doctor, they keep sending these text messages. So that's probably not a scam, but, well, good for you.
Well, I'm just telling people because, and the other thing happened to me recently was you're going to get a bill for $400 for, it was something tech. And I said, what the heck? I'll just wait and see on my credit card, and it never showed up. They were looking for a credit card number.
Was that a text message?
It was a text message.
Yeah. Well, just delete it, but that's a way to be alert. I mean, any of those types of transit, communicating by text message, no. Let them come sue you. Worst, you know what I'm saying? If it's a bill, it's not a, most of these things, people don't even know what they're talking about. I don't know what they're talking about, you know, right? I don't owe money to that company. So it's sad that they have access to the phones and the computers. You need to be disciplined. You're not going to owe money like that. Don't worry. Again, people aren't going to come to your house and arrest you, right? Okay? That's not going to happen. Your grandson's not in jail, or granddaughter. They haven't been in an accident. If they are, let them, somebody else straighten it out for the short term. Don't worry. So, was there, yes?
My question is not exactly in this vein, but we've had problems with the computer and almost got scammed. So as I get older, you know, we grew up at a time when computers were not our best friends. And I try to limit what we do on the computer. I don't pay my bank, we don't do any banking online, I don't have any accounts online. Well, now the bank wants to charge to send me a statement. They really want us to be online. And I really think that's terrible for seniors. Maybe a lot of people are able to do it, but I fear that as I get older, I'm not going to be able to do this. What's your feeling about banking online? How safe is it?
Okay. I don't know. Most people do it. I personally, I'd go into the bank myself.
Well, I do too.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what, but here's, go ask for the manager. Said I was at a DA's conference and they're charging me, just saying I shouldn't be charged. I'm not saying I'm telling you that, but that they shouldn't.
Going forward, they want to charge for every statement that they send in.
Yeah, I would say to you, look at.
What bank is it?
It's Navigant in Rhode Island, but I did call the head office and I said that I'm really sorry to hear that, and if they do that, I will move my money.
I would.
But I'm sure that all the banks are following suit with this.
Yeah.
It just seems awful. We've got such a big group of people, and they're making it. We're confused. I'm not confused all the time, but these are all systems that we've never used.
You're speaking very rationally. I agree. No, you are. I agree. I agree with you. It's not confusing. They shouldn't be charging you. See, the problem that's going to happen, and this is maybe a view that isn't shared by most people. I wasn't going to say it here. Remember the Jetsons? That's what we're becoming. And that's all I have to say is the Jetsons. There we are on a conveyor belt walking around. There's going to be no less human interaction. How is that? That's not good for society. Obviously, people are sitting on their phones, they're banking online, they're buying all their stuff. I mean, do they ever leave the house? I mean, that's most people. So I'm speaking from a position, and I'm older, so I did not grow up in the technological age, but Some of it's good, some of it's not good. They shouldn't be charging you. It's good to go in person somewhat. If we become a society that is going to be almost exclusively a computer-based, phone-based, automated world, that's not going to be a good thing. That's my opinion. Because it's going to be no human contact. You'll never see a human being in Navigant unless they rip off your account and you have to go in to see what's going on. Won't be a physical what?
Bank, I mean, there is online.
I know, but that's the Jetsons. There'll be a spaceship up there, and that'll be the bank. So lowly?
So vulnerable to.
Yeah. Well, if they steal your money, they're responsible for that. But I guess, like anything in life, you hope there's balance to it, meaning that, okay, yes, automation, some things are good. It's good. Text messages are good. But you know what? When I'm driving up here and it's ding, ding, my mind, I don't want to hear that all the time. You can be accessed at any point during the day. It's not good for the mind. You know, I'm talking about some aspects of the technology. Some things are good. I'm watching a Red Sox game. I want to look up the stats. I can go, that's good, as opposed to an old book. But I think it's just, I would just beware of the ides of technology because I think it's headed in a direction that in many instances is not good on a number of fronts. Once I say the Jetsons, everybody knows, because that's what, but that seems to be where we're headed. And if that's, you go to a Red Sox game, it's cashless, right? Apparently, you know, you can't buy anything with cash for the most part. Maybe the concessions, although they were on strike last weekend. But
Is that going to happen? It's happening.
It is
You
happening.
have a debit card or a credit card.
At the games?
In no cash. Wherever you go now, a lot of the places we prefer a credit card or a debit.
Yeah. Which maybe I don't want to say it's all bad. It maybe, you know, I guess a lot of people might say that's a good idea. They can't steal the cash. But the point is, you go up, you got some cash on you, you should be able to use it. That's my opinion. But I'm just saying, this world we're going to live in is going to be automation. They were saying, you know, with respect, I'm getting off topic here, but you did bring it up. But no, you don't have to be sorry. That's why we're here. But the automation, I mean, is this all going to be fewer jobs for people? The whole thing, I don't know. But my point is, you got to be vigilant. You have to be careful. There's more opportunities to come after you, and it's based on fear. I'm going to startle you. Oh, I wouldn't fall for Romeo, right? Maybe you wouldn't. Maybe you would. I don't know. But and I'm not even being critical if you did. I mean, who knows what people's circumstances, but if you start shelling out hundreds of thousands of dollars or thousands of dollars, it's not going to have a happy ending for you. That's all. The ending is going to be what? So, did you ever, oh, no. So, there are a lot of different aspects to this. But my point is I'm concerned for you. We're going to continue to try to fight and protect you, but we need your help, which is vigilance and be very wary of any of this stuff. The bank is a little different situation, but I understand what you're saying. The fact that they're going to make you pay for statements and, like you said, the bank will be in a spaceship somewhere at some point. So, I guess. But, so thank you for your time. As I said, we're going to continue to, this has been a priority of mine in the office for over a decade. It continued will be, but just need your help for your own sake as far as don't fall for this stuff because it's a scam. You're not getting your money back and you won't be happy about it. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
Last week, I got a call and it said United Healthcare. So I answered it. And the young lady that spoke to me asked me if I got my new United Healthcare card. Now my friend, my close friend that lives up here now, she got the same call like a week before that. And I said, I didn't order a new card. And I said, I already received my card. And she said, is this my name? And I went, who are you looking for? She says, well, I'm just calling from United. Very, very nice. And she said, I don't know if she wanted my address or if she wanted any other information from me. But my friend Carol got the exact same call. Very nice lady. Very, very nice, very soft-spoken. And she just, I said, I think you have the wrong number. Sorry. And then I hung up.
So,
I never heard of it. It said United Healthcare.
so that sounds fishy to me. Does it sound fishy? Think United Healthcare is going to call up the two of them in the same neighborhood? See, did you get your new card? If you tried to call United Healthcare, think you'd get through? I can't get through to anybody when I call them, so beware, okay? These big entities aren't calling you, I would say. I'm not saying that anything's possible, but I mean, and it turned out you didn't need a card, right?
No, I already had my card. Yeah, and my friend doesn't even have United Healthcare.
So what rhymes with ham?
Spam.
Yeah, put a C in the instead of the P. Scam. That's what that is. But that very nice lady. See, that's a very, very nice lady. Very right.
Soft-spoken, oh,
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you're saying yes, right? I have. I'm not you person, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Here's my address. Here's my information, and then bang.
yeah, they had my name.
Yeah. So that's why you have to be very vigilant. That's a good response. Again, the answering of the phone. That's a little less. You know, it says United Healthcare. Oh, what's this about? So it's everywhere. Little different twist of face, but okay. I wish you the best. Have a great rest of the summer. Thank you.